Welcome to another episode of Pooches at Play. We hope you've been enjoying the series so far.
And hopefully my training tips are helping too.
And I hope that all of your dogs are happy and healthy.
That's always a good thing, so sit back and enjoy the rest of the show. If your dog is a little anxious at times, perhaps has mild separation anxiety or noise phobia to things like fireworks and thunderstorms, there are some products I often recommend that can assist, along with other environmental enrichment training and safety measures specific to the issue. Most of these topics and tips are addressed on our website, but I thought I'd explain how some products can help. Firstly, a thunder shirt, which Darcy is modelling here, really can help many dogs feel calmer in different situations that can trigger anxiety. Much like a weighted blanket can help us humans with anxiety, these work in the same way for our dogs. As you can see, they wrap tightly around them like they're being held or cuddled, which can help reassure them. And it also means that you're not doing it as the owner, which can actually reinforce a dog's anxiety when you make a fuss about the situation and try to appease them. When we hug and hold them, in their brains, this can confirm that we too are worried about the situation, so it can actually make it worse. Isn't that right, buddy? That's why you love your thunder shirt. If you are leaving your anxious dog alone at home though, it's a good idea to provide them access to a room inside the house. For many dogs, simply being allowed to stay in a family area or bedroom in the house can really help them relax, especially those places that smell strongly like us. Like the bed. If it's noises that trigger their anxiety, soundproof the room by closing windows and blinds and place their dog bed or crate inside the room with their usual blanket and favourite toy for extra comfort. If for some reason they have to be outside, then make sure you have a safe and secured sheltered kennel with their bed and toys in it by the back door ideally, and somewhere that offers them protection. Pheromone-based collars, sprays and adapters you plug into the wall may also help some dogs with noise phobias, such as Adaptil for dogs and Feel Away for cats. You can spray this spray, for example, onto their bed. Calming chews and supplements may also help in some mild cases. For both separation anxiety and noise phobias, soothing sounds can help some dogs. Dog TV is great for this. It's an online resource created for dogs with sights and sounds scientifically designed to enrich the environment, with options to also help with anxiety. Again, for mild anxiety, treat dispensing interactive toys, like these ones here, puzzles and long-lasting chews can help keep them occupied when left alone. If it doesn't improve though, or it does worsen, you do need to speak to your vet or an experienced trainer, as dog behaviour problems don't go away. They generally just get worse. Sorry for that news. Visit your local Petstock store or website for these and other products to assist with anxiety or to grab a Dog TV subscription. Become a Petstock Rewards member and earn rewards on thousands of products and services store-wide. Receive great upfront benefits and look out for exclusive member opportunities. Terms and conditions apply. Visit the website for details.
Narelle, you must see a lot of dogs with skin and weight issues. How much does diet impact on this?
Unfortunately, I do see a lot of dogs with both skin and weight issues, and the type of diet that these dogs are being fed is absolutely fundamental, because while diet is often the cause of both of these problems, we can also use diet to our advantage to help resolve them. Now, I think a lot of people are aware that consuming a highly processed diet that's also very high in carbohydrates is more likely to lead to overweight and obesity in humans, but the exact same principle applies with our dogs as well. And in terms of what we're feeding our dogs, we're more likely to see that combination of highly processed carbohydrates in commercial kibbles. Now, the other negative aspect of commercial kibbles is that they also often contain a lot of artificial ingredients, things like colours, flavours and preservatives. What then happens is that all of those factors combined compromise the integrity of the gastrointestinal lining, making it more porous, which ultimately compromises the dog's immune system and makes them much more prone to conditions such as yeasty ear infections and skin infections, particularly in the skin folds that I see commonly in breeds such as bulldogs.
How can a raw food diet help with this?
Well, the beautiful thing about feeding our dogs a raw food diet, particularly those with skin and weight issues, is that it contains real whole foods that are species appropriate. So no nasty artificial colours or preservatives, low in carbohydrate or sugars, and high in protein, which actually works to support gut health and the immune system. So some of the ingredients we'll typically see in a raw food diet include a variety of muscle meats, organ meats, bone. We've got seasonal fruits and vegetables, sources of our omega-3 fatty acids such as chia seeds and salmon, prebiotics, probiotics, and a whole range of other superfoods. And a great example of the benefits of raw food feeding can be seen with Ziggy.
Yes.
So Ziggy, being a bulldog, has that typical stocky build with his short little legs and lots of folds of skin. Unfortunately, Ziggy was also carrying a few too many kilos, but once we switched to the Big Dog raw food patties, Ziggy was able to shift those kilos, which was great. That was exactly what we wanted. And the ingredients in the raw patties also helped to improve the integrity of the skin barrier for Ziggy, which meant less secondary skin infections, while also helping to reduce inflammation and the overall itchiness of her skin.
Oh, that's so good for Ziggy. I'm really looking forward to meeting her. Thanks, Narelle.
Thank you.
Later in the show, I meet the adorable Ziggy and her proud parents to learn how they managed to shed those unwanted kilos.
This week's Breed in Focus is the Australian Bulldog. Please meet Hamilton Honey Muffin, who was a rescue through Minnie's Bulldog Rescue, and his buddy Moo. While their English cousins originated as far back as the 13th century, the Aussie Bulldog is a fairly new breed, first developed in Queensland in the 1990s in an attempt to improve the breed's tolerance of the harsh Australian environment.
Yes, the Aussies are a slight improvement, but sadly still quite affected by issues seen in many short-nosed breeds. The most concerning welfare issue Aussies face is brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, or BOAS.
That's easier.
Symptoms of BOAS are often considered normal in these little guys, but are far from that and include snoring, regurgitation, exercise noise and intolerance, interrupted sleep, and in some severe cases, keeping their head in a certain position when they sleep.
Oh, that doesn't sound comfortable at all. The Australian Bulldog is an intelligent breed, and as they can be a bit dominant with other dogs, early socialisation with other dogs, pets and children is a must. They do well with firm and consistent training and need good leadership from their owners. While selective breeding has done a lot of damage to the Bulldogs, knocking down the set, down to the Bulldog's physical features and health, the aggression the Bulldog was first bred with for its early bull baiting role is not reflected in today's breed.
No, definitely not. The Aussies are generally affectionate, good-natured and patient with children, so can make for a great companion and family pet. But keep in mind that they do tend to bulldoze their way around the house.
And the film set.
And life in general, so may not be the ideal choice for families with very young children that could be pushed over easily.
That's right. The Australian Bulldog is an active breed, so they do well with an average-sized backyard, daily walks and other outdoor activities to help keep their weight down.
Aussies have an average lifespan of 10 to 12 years. All Aussie Bulldogs should be assessed prior to 12 months of age for signs of BOAS. Specialist surgeons agree that many will benefit greatly from surgery on their nostrils and their soft palate at a young age. Other issues include hip dysplasia, vertebral and ophthalmic disease including cherry eye and entropion. So if you still think that these little guys are for you, as a general rule, look for longer noses and necks, wider nostrils and narrower chests. See if the parents and pups have been back scored and ask for a copy to show your veterinarian.
Yeah,
unfortunately, the very characteristics that win prizes in the show ring are the ones that lead to health issues. So selecting a breeder with a focus on health as opposed to show prizes is paramount.
Yes, sadly their health issues is one of the major reasons why Bulldogs end up being surrendered to Minnie's Bulldog Rescue. So ensuring you have the right pet insurance cover is vital if you are considering this breed, and just do your research and make sure you're prepared to do what's needed.
To learn how HIF Pet Insurance can help your pet in times of need, visit hif.com.au.
No matter what breed of dog you own, regular grooming at home in between professional grooms helps to keep their skin and coats healthy. So where do you begin? Now this might sound strange, but washing your dog when it's dirty is not always the right thing to do. Overwashing can rob a dog's skin and coat of essential oils, so check what's recommended for your dog's breed and their hair type with your vet or groomer. Also, if your dog has longer hair or a double coat that is not being regularly brushed, it might actually be matted underneath. Now, the reason why this is not good for our dogs, because if you add water to it, it actually makes the mat worse, causing discomfort and pain for your dog and increasing the risk of bacteria and infection underneath. Always use a pet shampoo and conditioner, never human ones, as a dog's pH levels are very different to our own and it can cause skin irritations or sensitivities. I always look for a natural pet shampoo and conditioner with essential oils and botanicals, no nasty chemicals and not tested on animals, which is why I use the DGG range. Regular brushing at least once a week at home helps to keep your dog clean. It prevents matting, increases circulation and it reduces shedding, which Darcy needs. Longer hair will need more. If you have a dog with a double coat, use a de-shedding brush or a rake to remove the undercoat to help keep them cool in summer and avoid matting in the winter. Mindy's not really helping us here, is he, buddy? No. Regularly trim and also clean around your dog's fringe and around their eyes as well. You use a damp cloth to remove any of that gunk which can block their tear ducts and cause infection as well. Likewise, regularly gently clean the inside of your dog's ears with a wet cloth or pet ear wipes. If they're rubbing at their ear or shaking their head more than usual, then get a vet to check them out. Daily cleaning with the dog toothpaste and brush is also really important in between professional cleans, as gum disease impacts on their overall health. Fresh breath and plaque control products can also help. Now, long nails on a dog can cause them pain, so they need to be kept trim. You don't want to cut through the red nerve though in there, and you can usually see that quite well in clear nails, but on dark nails it can be tough. So if you're unsure or they do have those dark nails like Darcy does on some of the front ones, then ask your groomer or your vet to show you how to do it. To help with your home grooming needs, look for the DGG range at quality pet stores or visit their website. Pets of the Homeless provide food, veterinary care and other services to people in need, including those at risk of or currently experiencing homelessness. Petstock Assist support their great work, and as their ambassador, I thought I'd join them today on a pet food delivery. The Pets of the Homeless Food Bank helps to provide thousands of meals each year to help keep hungry pets well fed when their own families are temporarily unable to do so. First stop for today's delivery is Father Bob Maguire's Community Food Pantry in South Melbourne. This service provides nourishing food for people who are struggling with personal and financial difficulties. Many also have pets, so by working together, these charities can help both pets and people in need.
Once the pandemic has started, we have seen an increase in requests for assistance, especially with pet food. So we started partnering from 4 organisations to 45 in about 6 to 8 months, within a 6 to 8 months period.
Paul, what does this food delivery mean to the people that you help?
Lara, the foundation doesn't just look at the person, it looks at the whole part of the person. Now, that includes their animals, whether it's their cat or their dog.
Yes.
Now, at the foundation, we're very fortunate to have pet food donated to us, and thus we're able to feed their animals as well.
Loneliness is one thing, but loneliness is the toxic side of being alone.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be that way.
It's lonely, it's social isolation, and with social isolation comes mental health.
Yeah.
How do we support them through mental health?
Yeah.
It's a common thing.
Yeah,
that mental health is on the increase.
Insane.
Yes.
So there we have an obligation. We will support their animals, whether it be their dog, their cat, no matter what.
Indeed. It's one thing to have a home,
Yes.
but it's another thing to be at home.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can have the most beautiful home in the universe and at the same time be totally alone.
That's right, and that's where pets play such
Yeah, the
an
pet
important
does.
role.
You see what I mean?
Yep, they do indeed.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to help with the Father Bob Maguire Foundation, visit their website. If you'd like to help support Pets of the Homeless, you can visit theirs. And if you'd like to learn more about Petstock Assist and the great work they're doing, then visit theirs too. I mean, everyone's doing such amazing work.
right.
Support them all.
We're all in this together.
It can be hard to know where to look and what videos to watch to help you take good care of your dog from puppyhood right through to its senior years. That's why I wrote my book, Eat, Play, Love Your Dog. It's available where all good books are sold, as well as poochesatplay.com, and it covers everything you need to know from food and nutrition to training behaviour, as well as just taking good care of them through all stages of their life. Grab a copy now.
Earlier in their episode, I caught up with naturopath and pet food nutritionist Lara. We're having a chat about dogs with body weight issues and skin sensitivity, like Ziggy, the bulldog I'm about to go and meet. Now, Ziggy's just had throat surgery, so we're going to take it very quietly. There's Ziggy. Hey Nathan, how you going,
Hey
mate?
Morgan, how are you, man?
Good. Ziggy is gorgeous. What's been happening with her?
So she's had a knee reco about 12 weeks ago, which we knew when we got a bulldog that, they're a bit top heavy and they can have a couple of issues like that. So we were hoping it wouldn't happen, but it did. Down at the beach, obviously stood on some loose sand and hurt herself. So she had the knee reco, and then in the last scan that we had done, we had a feeling that maybe she was having some breathing issues. When we first got her, she used to run around a lot more for longer. So they checked her soft palate and obviously that needed to be done. So we've just done that as well. So
She's been in the wars.
yeah, she has, but by the time she's recovered, she'll be back to her athletic self.
Yeah, right. So she had a bit of problem with weight because she hasn't been able to exercise as much?
Yeah, so at the start, once she had her surgery, we were still just feeding her. And then we realised that obviously lack of exercise. So we started to cut the meals down. And obviously when we got her, we were trying to get her down a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. So we've been trying to bring her down. So she's slowly starting to come down now.
What made you switch to Big Dog?
Obviously, we wanted to eat really well. Yep. And knowing that she's a bulldog and she'll eat anything, we got on a few sites and we read a few things. Some people feed kibble and this, and it just made sense to us to feed her raw. Big Dog was perfect. Comes in pre-packaged patties. It's got all the good stuff in it, so we didn't have to try and make it ourselves. So it just made sense, and she loves it, and it's really good for her. So we just kept her on it ever since we started. It was perfect.
And being a bulldog, has she had any skin irritation?
Yeah, she had a little bit when we first got her. We weren't sure if it was the grass in the backyard or one of the plants or the food that we were feeding her at the start. But once we got her on the Big Dog, it slowly went away and it hasn't come back. So we're assuming it must have been the food, and Big Dog's been really good for her. So we just kept her on it and she loves it.
Yeah, and she's chilled out. She seems like she's loving it.
Yeah, she's pretty relaxed. When we first got her, she was a little bit, obviously, unsure. Yeah. She was a bit up and about, but now she'll spend a whole day in here and just, she'll get up for the occasional person, but yeah, she's relaxed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
Thanks for that.
No worries.
Thanks. Hey, if you'd like to find out more about Big Dog, check out their website. You reckon I can get a haircut?
No worries, let's do it.
Gotta grow some first.
Teaching lever as part of your obedience training is really important. It could even save your dog's life. Begin the training at home first under low distraction and ensure they are reliably responding to the command before heading on to higher distraction areas. There are a few different ways to do this, so I'm going to go with a fairly controlled one. To start with, make sure you have 2 different types of treats. One should be fairly routine to the dog, like their kibble, for example, while the other should be a much higher value treat. I use the VitaPet Pocket Rewards for Vindy, but I also keep VitaPet chicken tenders broken up in my pocket if I really want to up the ante. Chicken is so high value for many dogs that it really does help. Keeping the pieces small helps to ensure that you aren't over-treating them either, and treats should make up no more than 10% of your dog's total daily calorie intake. Isn't that right, buddy? If you use a clicker to mark correct behaviour, hold this in the high value hand, make a fist and place your hands behind your back. The next step is to present your fist with the lower value food to your dog so they start to sniff it. Say, leave it, and the moment your dog stops sniffing or looks at you, mark that desired response with a clicker or yes. Then offer him the higher value treat from your other hand. Repeat until your dog immediately stops sniffing your hand when you say leave it, and you are confident that they have made the connection between the command and the action of leaving it alone. The next step of the process is to put your dog on lead and toss the low value treat out of their reach. If they start sniffing in the direction of the treat or pull towards it, wait until they stop, mark it with the clicker or yes, and give him the higher value treat from your hand. If you keep doing short daily sessions of these exercises, over time your dog should soon stop pulling as soon as you give it the leave it cue. By rewarding him with a high value treat, your dog starts to learn that asking him to leave something, even food, doesn't mean he goes without, but that he might actually get something even better. When your dog is reliably responding to the cue, you can teach him that leave it can apply to other things as well, not just food on the floor. Again, start with less interesting items, then move your way up to the fun stuff like toys and balls, all at home in low distraction first. And remember, always make it positive and fun. That's how dogs learn best, isn't it, Vindy? For more tips and tricks, visit VitaPet Central at vitapet.com.au. What do you think?
I often get asked by frustrated and slightly repulsed dog owners as to why their adorable dog is eating poo. Vets refer to the habit as coprophagia, and while the thought of it is enough to make our stomach churn, remember, dogs are frequently attracted to the smell of faeces when they're out and about, so it clearly has a very different appeal to our furry friends. Fish-based dog food can create poo with a stronger aroma, and cat poo is higher in protein and therefore can be enticing to dogs, while other dog foods have very high palatability, so they may smell good after the fact, if you know what I mean. While the behaviour is common in puppies and sometimes considered part of their normal environmental exploration, it's something that you definitely don't want to encourage. In adults, both behavioural and medical causes need to be explored. your vet will perform a full examination and possibly blood and fecal testing to get to the bottom of the problem. Underfeeding or feeding a poor quality diet may cause them to instinctively turn to poop to get what they need. Gastrointestinal disease, including malabsorption, pancreatitis, and intestinal worms, can also lead to malnutrition and vitamin and mineral deficiencies. If your vet has ruled out intestinal parasites or other gastrointestinal illnesses, hormonal diseases such as diabetes, Cushing's, and thyroid disease may need to be investigated. Boredom and anxiety can lead to a number of undesirable behaviours, including coprophagia. Try to provide lots of environmental enrichment, things like interactive toys, treat dispensing puzzles, and long-lasting chews. If you suspect anxiety to be the cause, then talk to your vet or qualified trainer about possible solutions. In the meantime, preventing the behaviour is super important, as dog poop is a great source of potentially zoonotic pathogens, things like Salmonella, Campylobacter, roundworm, and hookworm. Ensure that you clean up the poo immediately and maintain hand hygiene. You can also try adding a little bit of pineapple juice to their food. It seems to discourage quite a few of my patients. Importantly, make sure that worm and other parasite treatments are up to date. With NexGard Spectra, your dog will receive the most complete parasite protection available against external and internal parasites in just one monthly tasty chew.
Want to win a Pawsome prize pack valued at over $2,000? One lucky person will win a year's supply of VitaPet treats, Big Dog pet foods, NexGard Spectra monthly chews, a $250 pet stock gift voucher, DGG grooming and apparel, and a year's subscription to Dog TV. Plus, there's 5 consolation prizes of my book, Eat, Play, Love Your Dog. To enter, sign up to our e-news and tell us the name of one of the charities featured in this series. All entries also receive a free ebook, so visit poochesatplay.com.
Thanks for joining us for another week. I hope you enjoyed the show.
And if you'd like to know more about anything we've said, check out poochesatplay.com.
Or check out our social media as well.
Or 10play.
Wow, so many places to see us. No excuse to miss us. See you next week.
Go.